Okay, so Bear Talks, and we're back again. Like I said, I'm not going to stop cussing him, Icy. I'm covering for you, dog. Yeah, I'm covering you in your work. You owe me, fam. Yeah. Okay, don't forget that. So when man hollers at you for a favour, don't try to say no. Anyway, the topic today is, what age is too old to be a rapper? Now, the reason I'm asking this, I'm not going to mention no names, innit? I'm not going to mention no names. But I'll say someone neutral. I remember there was an interview on Vlad TV once by Havoc from Mobb Deep, and he said by 30, that is it. After 30, you should not.
I believe that.
Okay.
I believe that.
Obviously, there's rappers that are older that are. I haven't finished yet.
That's right, go on.
So different people's got different opinions. Yeah. I've heard certain women say it like, he's too old to be a rapper, what's he doing that for, and whatever else. Yeah. But what I do know is, I don't know a woman alive that wouldn't be happy to get her money from a man's royalty check. Yeah, but I digress. So anyway, what do you lot think? Like, when do you... We'll start with Levi first. Like,
personally, I think, right...
Is there an age limit? Like,
there isn't. It depends on how current you are as a person. So if you've been out of the game and you're no longer, like, you know, nobody really has heard from you, and you're not doing things that I suppose that when, you know, sometimes rappers talk about things that they're doing in their life that can be current and relevant to, you know, the music scene. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, yeah, like if you're a bit older, like it's a bit mad when you're coming out with something and it's like, do we still understand you? Do you still have...
Are you still relevant?
Understanding, yeah, like you have the understanding of today's era. But at the same time, some people are actually just so lit, you can't take from them what they're doing. Like Wiley, I'm sorry, you can't take from him what he's doing. That is who he is. Yeah. And he is lit at it, and he's making himself current because he's doing it in a way that it works.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying?
You give your take, we're going to go round, and then after that, we'll get into the discussion. So you say your little piece, what do you think?
My piece, I'll say in regards to this is that I think, yes, there's an age where you're too old to be a rapper. Okay. But my no side is the fact that if you started off in the game as a rapper and you've been at the age of 20, you're carrying on, I think there's nothing wrong with that. And the reason why there's nothing wrong with that is people that you have fans from back then still want to hear what you have to say. If you're speaking in regards to relevant things that I can relate to as my age, as you know, yeah, as you mentioned, Wiley, whatever, been there at that age when he was doing what he was doing, at this age where he was doing what he was doing, or even
Snoop, Jay-Z, and
Jay-Z has gone fly straight to America. You look at Jay-Z, he's gone from the drug talking rap. Pusha T, I'm still a fan of Pusha T. Yeah. He still speaks about drugs.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I don't know why, I'm still cool with that. I'm still all day. So I'm still a Pusha T fan. I think I'm fine with him doing that at whatever age it is, probably my age or whatever, and he's still rapping about that kind of thing. But I think it depends also on yourself and what you're looking for as a rapper, and what you're looking for as a rapper.
Yeah, what you want to achieve.
Yeah,
exactly.
If you want to hear the stabbing up, then you go for kind of that kind of music, and you're fine with that, no matter how old you are. If you want to hear something about progress, then there's rappers that will give you that too. So,
okay, yeah. So this will be an interesting response we get from you. So, what do you think, bro?
I agree with you, but also at the same sense, why is there an age limit on being an influencer? I think it depends on what you do. If you're a rapper trying to do all this young boy rapper, and then yeah, there's a problem with it because it looks to act your age, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? Go with the grown man thing, innit? Do the grown man thing. If that's what you're doing, it's not a problem with it. I mean, yeah, see, you trying to come out as a 30-year-old, 45-year-old rapper, it depends on how you do it, because if people know from the get-go, yeah, this is a 45-year-old dude, and they're going to look at it like, now if people listen to this person and they're influenced by this person, and then you so happen to, he's 45.
Wow,
So I think I
don't want to hear a 45-year-old talking about ops.
And this is what gets back to the point which Pinky brought up about the whole. Well, it depends on what you're talking about, because
not Pinky, by the way.
No, that's just a nickname and stuff. I'm just saying it then brings up to the point of, you know what I mean. I don't want to hear a 45-year-old man talking about trap him down and I shot him. But then what? But then another thing is. See,
but that might be
you got man like Styles P and them in there. I grew up listening to them, man. And them man, they talk some crud, but they talk crud, but they got gems that you can learn from.
Moved on, like,
Right, and not only that, they've moved on, they've developed in life. So, you're right. I mean, as a big man who has kids, I don't want to hear all that crud talking from a grown man.
Cool, hold that. So,
but I think for me, really, I think 30 should be the limit, because I feel like if you started from 20 and you're not getting nowhere, then I think it's time for you to sort of give up my way. Considering if you've got wife and kids, you've got a bit. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Something you can't really force nothing.
I know you want to come in, but can I just
no.
Go on.
You can't really force something that's not really working out. And for me, there's new current talent coming up as well. So that's the 30-year-old competing with all these young talents as well.
But man like Jay-Z didn't bust till near 30. Man like DMX didn't bust till near 30.
J-Lo as well. I know she's not a rapper, but
but wait,
I know, but
continue.
But I think for me, obviously in my opinion, I think that's a bit too old to be rapping. At least there should be a limit, at least to, it's depending on what you want to achieve and how sort of high you want to go in your career as well. That's what I see it as.
Now Jay-Z busted a lot.
Okay, so
I think he did bust a lot earlier.
It was DMX that didn't bust till about coming up to 30.
all right, so we've got kind of a balanced opinion on the age limit should be like 30, whatever, yeah? If you haven't bust. Now, the problem that I kind of see sense in everything you're all saying, because I felt similar to you when I was your age, when I was doing the music thing. When I saw certain old rappers, because when I was your age, the people that was doing their thing was people like, say, Black Twang, Maneuver, whatever else. But them man are still doing their thing today, and they've got their fans, bro.
Yeah, no, of course.
And it's like, you could say that, boom, they haven't blown, they're not that big or whatever else, but that's a matter of opinion. You see what I'm trying to say? Because different people have different fan bases. Some people might have a bigger fan base in this part of the world, that part of the world. Other people might be artists that they don't really make that much. They don't really make that much on shows locally, but they do shows overseas.
Yeah.
Some people, they might be more the studio kind of artists where they're selling their music to like film soundtracks, that kind of stuff. So with what you're saying in terms of the age thing, I think it's because you ain't got to that age yet. Because here's the problem that you're gonna have with that attitude that you got. I'm not saying you're wrong, but what's gonna happen is when you get to 30, for example, if you was rapping, you might find that, you know what, I like what I'm doing. I'm not big or nothing, but I've got enough P's from my royalties, my licensing, my merch, and I'm cool. Because by rights, by what you're saying, by 30 you got to stop and get a 9 to 5. But if you've been rapping all them times, you ain't blown, you ain't got no number ones or nothing, but you're making enough P's to look after yourself, you're paying for your family, you're touring, you're doing your thing. It's cool then, isn't it?
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
So someone else might say, oh, why is he still doing it? Because I know a few rappers, again, I'm not going to mention their names because I've heard people say similar things about them. No, the only reason I'm not saying it is because they're good at what they do.
I hear you.
I've heard other people say, oh, what's he still rapping for?
I hear that.
I'm around these men and I'm like, bro, these
men are cold. But then this is the thing now, where you see the generation that, I couldn't say we could, you're, but the generation that I come from is, there wasn't a load of kid stars.
Yes.
Now,
it's good there is.
Now, the game is full up of young people to the point it's like, oh, we don't want to. Oh, now this is the thing, innit? I hear your point, but in the same sense,
I actually like his point.
I like your point, but in the same sense, not everyone under 30 has all of that wisdom, and this is what part of being an influencer is. Do you know what I'm saying to you?
Definitely.
So, and people over, it's like saying, anyone over 30, you got nothing to say, you got nothing that you can offer us. Now, the fact of the matter is, there's so much wisdom that people who came before us can give to us. So it's about having an appreciation. It's the same way how older people used to outrule what kids were saying, when there's so much you can learn from kids. So to be honest with you, it is.
So it's like, you can have whatever you're spitting, you can have fans in it. Like, we've got Future that just sings about drugs, Percocet and all that shit, and he's got a big massive following. So it's a thing of like, it still depends, like no matter what you're spitting, even if it's
your mood,
it depends what you're spitting, the way you say it.
No, I mean, someone's going to be into it.
I didn't mean to do that, but literally that's how
it sounds funny still.
Yeah, no.
But I mean,
if I say it again, it's going to come out the same way.
I know what you're saying, because I came up around a lot of, like what I was saying before, a lot of the UK rappers before Channel U Bust and the Black Twangs and so for me, this is a slight part of the reason why I've stopped not rapping totally, but rapping to do things for the mainstream. If I have to happen to make a tune and it goes somewhere, it goes somewhere. A lot of people don't even know I do rap.
Some people
But
lose their touch.
this is what it was for me. I stopped doing it because I'm someone's parent at 30 as well, and still trying to make it to bust. I think there's a lot more pressure on you trying to bust at 30 and trying to create a career. And
I think even Chipmunk's, no, I'm not saying he's lost his touch, but I think some people would feel that. Because when he came into the scene, he was like a grime artist and he was young and everyone was loving it. But then it came to a point where it was like, now he's older.
A lot of people say that.
He was out of the game for so long and he went to America. And people always like, you know, my gran always says everyone's got an opinion. They're like arseholes.
but those things like the things that look, we've heard about the Chipmunk going through depression and things like that, right? Now you got to understand things that happen in your life. We can all have this critic, but we don't know what that person's gone through. Number one, and number two, you see people that have something negative to say about somebody who's developed. They need to take a long walk off a short plank. Because at the end of the day, you've changed. No, real talk, you've changed. So that's what life is about. No one is okay as they are. So this is it. At the end of the day, that's why some rappers have fallen off, because they've not been able to adapt or not adapt, but they've not been able to develop.
I would say also though, to piggyback off of the university discussion that we had, some of you said that as long as you're happy with what you're doing, and it could be the same for music because it's therapeutic in some ways. Another thing as well, what people don't realize is a lot of the younger people your age and whatever, they're making tracks, but there's certain older people, certain OGs that's in the studio with them saying, no, don't do this and do that.
But we're not listening. You're going to try to say we're not listening.
No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying if you keep some of these OGs around you, they can help shape your career. You can learn from certain mistakes they've had.
I need
you get me?
And
you get me?
And to build on your point, you know what it is as well? A lot of the music here that is being made, even like your generation will find it out when you start getting older. I found it out now that I'm like getting to 30s. A lot of the music that we loved came from behind us, from older. A lot of the music that you lot are listening to and you lot are bumping now, I'm laughing because I'm like, that tune came from, and I'm laughing at my older brothers. Do you remember when that tune came up from that?
You know what, that's how my parents was with us, when some songs like even down to Biggie, Juicy, when you're hearing that.
All of them tunes were taken from old school. Biggie, not even that, Biggie Smalls, Snoop Dogg, a lot of their stuff, they were sampled from the music that influenced them and that they grew up with. And that's what's happening, even like with Tory Lanez. He's sampled a lot of 90s stuff. Drake, a lot of 90s stuff. Because they're doing what they grew up with. But the thing is, this is why, what you said, it's good to have the OGs around because some of the things that came from before you, they'll be able to put you on the game hard. They didn't know certain tunes before someone put them onto it.
What I would say as well is that I've got a couple younger people that they're doing music as well. I know them, and you know how many of them they haven't even sorted out their PRS or anything. No. They're on Westwood crib sessions. They're putting out tunes, and like I'm saying, little man, why haven't you patterned up your PRS? It costs less than a pair of your Night Vapor Max, fam.
But they don't.
Sorry, what's PRS? If I may ask.
Many don't know.
No, you got no.
Say it to the camera, guys.
Yeah.
Because a lot of artists and producers need to know this.
What is PRS?
An MCPS.
I do know.
I want you to answer.
PRS.
Which is
do you know? I bet you do me a favor and break down the acronym for me, because I know basically I know what PRS is. Right.
Performance. You know what's so funny? Because I was offered a job there actually.
Basically, PRS is a way that you secure getting paid for your plays.
PRS for music.
Yeah, PRS for music is a way that basically you get your royalties. So when people are out there playing your music, you're securing yourself some form of money from that. PRS.
In all clubs and everywhere else, they need to get a license. So to play music, the right to play music, even in the office.
To add it to, if I want to right now, if we were gonna add the song to this video, you'd have to pay PRS. A lot of the reason why people will post. I don't know if any of you have tried to put a video up and it's got music in the background and they take it down because of copyrights. Right? Do you know what I'm saying to you?
You know when your PRS basically gathers money from
And you're correct, because even when we was on the strip back in the day in the Mike GLC days, even when we was on the strip back in the Mike GLC days, a lot of people were kind of, we were breaking it to be like, well, where's the MCPS? Where's your PRS? Where's your certain things that you haven't got your name registered, your business name. You haven't got your stuff copywritten. You haven't got, like, and there's a lot of infrastructure where it's like, you got people like, I just want to rap.
I'll be honest, that's a huge reason why I haven't wanted to do it. Sometimes I've been in the studio with some people and they're like, write down, just write bars, and I'm just like trying to like freestyle or whatever.
Yeah, but
like, I get a bit funny that they're gonna steal my stuff. Like, I just get a bit funny because
I get that.
You're telling me to write down, but can you not hear what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, and I understand why they're telling me to rap because they might just be being helpful.
Yeah.
At the same time, of course, like, we're not actually making a track right here, right now. But some people, obviously, I hear a lot of things in this game. It's like a whole finesse.
And
so you're trying to say that all these young lot,
if you don't have the knowledge, you might just totally get finessed.
so
And that's what your OGs are for.
So you know, so you know these young lot, they tend to go to these like Westwood crib sessions, and you're trying to say that Westwood robbing from them.
No, I'm not saying
No.
Westwood's robbing from them. What I'm saying is, say you make a banging tune and you go on Westwood show, you perform it.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily that Westwood owes you some money, that's not what I'm saying. But it might blow up off of that.
It'll be YouTube that owes you money.
Yeah, YouTube.
Yeah.
But forget
Go to YouTube.
forget YouTube for a minute. Let's just imagine there's a domino effect. Other people like it, they want the tune and it blows. It's playing in pubs. It's playing in pubs. It's the
Clubs.
background. It's the background music at the call centre when you're calling up Barclays Bank or something. I don't know. That's P's that you could be collecting, but because you haven't done the PRS thing, you ain't getting the P's. Because so many people want to be Instagram famous. You just want the likes. You want the notoriety. And you want to notoriety.
I'll say one thing clear.
And because of that, they forget about how important that is. And that's one of the things that when you're an older rapper, if you're around, that's some of the things you can be educating them with. So when people say, oh, he's too old to be a rapper, be careful what you say, fam.
But then this is where what I will say is there is a clear difference between the music business and actually just doing music. Some people when I was doing music, like I said, I loved doing music and going through the whole CD sales to doing the organization of this, and I never had no manager, I never had no producer, I was my everything. Now of course, I'm just as an example. Now doing the business to music sometimes for some people can totally kill their drive for the passion of doing music. Do you know what I mean? And this is why sometimes
That's why.
but this is why it's good to have some older people around that can show you something like, yo, get a manager, get a lawyer, get a do you know what I mean? Because when you know what to have, and then it's
like a few doors down, Bristol Studio, Jaja Souls.
Big up, Jaja.
Yeah.
big up Jaja.
Like, without him, Steamboat wouldn't be where he is.
A lot of people wouldn't be where they are.
He shows them what to do, how to get PRS. He helps them, basically. And why I like him even more, he doesn't stand in front of their limelight. You don't even know he's around them helping.
Yeah.
He just helps them, and he's just doing his own thing in his background.
He put a tune out not too long ago as well, still.
Yeah.
Where was it? Mansfield or something?
That's the reality of.
And that's also like.
What's that tune called? Plug it, 'cause I want to hear it.
That's also adapting, because what he's spitting about, what he's rapping about is more. It's more for the fact that he's grown, and you hear it from what he's saying. He's not talking about the shanking.
But that's why I got love for Jaja Souls, because Jaja, when I listen to Jaja rap, and I listen to Jaja, he's someone that commands respect. So how he carries himself isn't that of like, I'm trying to be in a limelight and I got my gun still, and do you know what I'm saying to you? So this is why do you know what I mean? Certain older rappers can rap.
One more example as well, and some of you will like this one. I know you all know who Fredo is.
Fredo.
Yeah.
From my ends,
You don't like him. You don't like him.
Oh gosh, here we go. Mo's up to the world.
And also, do you know who? I'm sure some of you know who RA is as well.
RA, who's that now? Oh, when you broke on the road and you got no peas. You talking about RA from Roadside G's?
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
Right, so obviously I was talking to my son. Well, it's not obvious. I was talking to my son about RA once, and he didn't know who he was. And it's like I said, son, this is the one, innit?
Yeah.
You get what I'm trying to say?
Like my mum told me about that.
Nothing like.
That is nowhere near the same. Ari and Daffy are two complete.
Oh my God, Pinky is too much.
Alright, anyway.
Right, back to Ari, yeah, go on. So,
I'm sorry, like, I don't know where that came from. What I was saying though, I was talking to my son about Ari, and he's like, yeah, he's alright still, because he was in jail for a long time.
Yeah.
He did like 10
Yeah, he was.
But then he started doing a lot of collaborations, AM and Skengdo. He did a
Where I know him from is the Roadside G's.
Yeah, I know, but that's the history, innit?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is when he came
Talking about recent,
a lot of collaborations.
Okay.
He done a tune with Gigs, but he done one with AM and Skengdo, but he done a tune with Fredo.
Okay.
My son likes Fredo, innit?
Okay, yeah.
It's only when he made a tune with him, that's when my son was like, yeah, Dad, I heard the RA, and I said, yeah, I told you.
Yeah.
About.
Yeah.
And then that's when he started getting it. And you know what? That was probably when I thought, that time when I heard RA spitting with Fredo back to back on that track called Adam's Family. That's the hardest I've heard Fredo, innit?
Okay.
And I truly.
I need to hear that one. Come on, like, as much as them man from I've not heard that. What tune is that called now?
It's called Adam's Family.
All right,
So
Fredo,
I
I'm gonna check that one out there.
I would submit to you. I'm not saying Fredo ain't good, but I think that was one of the reasons.
I'm gonna listen. Fredo, I'm gonna listen to that one there. Adam's
another
Family.
example of when you're with an OG and whatever, like he can bring the better out of you, and vice versa.
Of course. But to be honest, I think with a lot of like rappers of today anyway, especially in the UK, like it's a thing of like versatility. And I saw one rapper, AJ Tracy, saying he's the most versatile in the UK, and I was kind of.
She's got all right to say. I think as a rapper.
She loves name dropping, you know.
Sorry, no, but I'm seeing this stuff on Twitter, on Instagram, so I'm just speaking.
I like AJ still.
That's what I see. I'm not saying he is good away. That's what I'm saying. I think the UK, like I big it up more than I big up the American side of things, because you look at the views that Americans are getting compared to the views that the UK.
It's not about the views, though, for me.
No, it's not necessarily about the views, but it's a mad difference.
I think there's a lot of. Go on.
I don't think it's fair how they put. Like we put the US on a pedestal sometimes. Like,
We put the US on a pedestal because that's where a lot of our influence has come from. But hold on, go on.
That's fine.
But they don't put us on a pedestal.
The sound that we have, the UK sound that we have, the UK sound that we have.
I don't like
No, hold on, go on. Sorry, wait, stop, guys. Give us some respect. Go on.
The UK sound that we have is so different. No, but I've just heard some guys say to me, I don't listen to them UK man, and it's dead. Like I don't want to hear it.
Do people still say that?
Yeah, they do.
That's
And it's older guys as well. It's not even.
That's the way. That's why it is.
That's probably why.
Actually, no, sorry, no. There was a young guy that said it. A guy that's younger than me. He also said it. Don't really rate the UK. Only some people.
That's what a lot of people are starting to say now.
Obviously, we all have a different preference on what we want to hear. But you see me. I'll listen to like. You see, like Brown Daily, I actually subscribe to them, to actually see what's coming.
No, and
only thing I don't really like is drill, but then there are some drill tunes and drill artists that I think are really good. Because it depends on what, for me, it's content and how much you can bring to the table and how much you can put out there that actually feels and means something, like what we were talking about earlier, how much you can feel from that. I can feel something from it, plus the production on top of it. Like, it's a lot, it's a whole circle thing. And I think that
as a rapper myself,
we need to appreciate that a lot more, and also, appreciate it just as much as we appreciate American music.
All right, I hear you on that, but this is what I look at this now, innit? As a rapper myself, as someone who looks at putting things out as a business, I don't want no one supporting me because I'm from the UK. Support me because my shit's good.
But I do.
Then that's the problem with the UK though. I think there's a lot of rappers that are being supported because they're from the UK.
But they're actually good.
Again, you're listening. Sorry. You're making this personal. No one said you. Yeah. I said there's a lot of rappers now that are getting a lot of ratings and success because they're from the UK. I do not want you to support my product. No, but right. And if I put out a rap, it's not geography. I put out a rap music. So support me because my thing is good. Then, because I'm from the UK, that should be a secondary. And I think that with a lot of people,
To a certain extent.
that has come into the forefront. Of course, listen. When I started to rap, I was rapping with an American accent. So and a lot of rappers, a lot of rappers in that generation was rapping in an American accent.
Yeah.
Why?
A lot of why? Because we didn't have a lot of the MCDs and the Black Twangs and that was rapping in a British accent and that was making us proud.
No, we did have them, but
We didn't have a strong process.
You're talking to a DJ 279.
Go on.
Fam. We had bare UK rappers. What it is,
The presence wasn't as. Go
Slow
on.
down. Let me land. What I'm saying is, a lot of those rappers that we had, Black Twang, Roots Maneuver, whatever, they appeal to an older audience. The young kids, they couldn't, it didn't reach them like that. Ill Mill from SMS said that in a
Yes, Ill Mill, yeah.
Yeah, so I understand what you're saying.
Might have also been the way things were distributed though as well.
It wasn't really that. It was totally about the relatable aspect. That's why when Graham came, it kind of changed.
So, another topic. It's going to be interesting. Once again, big up Icy. I'm covering for you. I'm going to keep bunning you. Until you come back, I'm going to keep cussing you because I'm doing your job. Right, so we're going to be talking about female rappers. I know some women don't like being called female rappers, but you get the point. Right? So, recently, Jermaine Dupri made a little comment regarding rappers, female rappers. Akin to them being, strippers and whatnot. And this is what he said exactly. I feel like they are all rapping about the same thing. And I don't think they're showing us who's the best rapper. For me, it's like strippers rapping. As far as rap goes, I'm not getting into who is the best rapper. I'm getting, okay, you got a story about you dancing in the club. You got a story about you dancing in the club and blah, blah, blah. I kind of repeat that line. You got a story about you dancing in the club. Oh, we literally repeated it 3 times. Okay, all right, cool. Who's going to be the rapper? At some point, someone's going to have to break out of that mold and talk about other things. Now, after he said that, a bag of people got onto him. Yeah. Some people took offense, some people kind of agreed, and I've got my opinions, but
I got mine.
After what he said, I want everyone to give the take. We'll go around clockwise, I'll say mine, and then... So, Levi, let's start with you. What do you think about his statement?
This is Jermaine Dupri. Everyone knows
Obviously,
Jermaine Dupri.
I don't know.
Is this a guy
I don't know.
job that was in jeopardy when he said that? No.
It's Jermaine Dupri.
Jermaine Dupri, he's a producer.
You know what? He's a big time producer from back in the day. He's the one that
produced Bow Wow, The Brat.
And to give context, he was responsible for The Brat.
Yeah, The Brat.
That's the first female platinum artist. He brought her.
That's very weird for him to say that.
Wait.
No, it's relevant because it's like he's one of the people that pioneered the South to get into like the rap game.
But also,
basically, Jermaine Dupri is a G in this, a legend. But I do feel, just from hearing that, it sort of sounds like shots at Cardi B almost. Yeah. I don't know, because I don't know if
she's who reacts.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about much other female rappers in this day and age that are strippers. But then I kind of get in the context of what he's talking about. Just the same old, like the same old lyrics, pussy out, whatever stuff. So I understand what he's saying now about lyrical content, but I just feel personally it's because he's an OG in it. Like there's more he wants to know. He comes from just a totally different era. What's happening today? A lot of us are struggling to manage listening to this music because I know I do. Like I'm not the biggest fan of Cardi B. I wasn't even the biggest fan of Nicki Minaj when she came out. Do you know what I mean? So I totally respect his opinion in that sense, but at the same time, I understand that making money is important, and that's what a lot of these women are trying to do right now. They want to make their money, and it's up to them. Not even necessarily up to them, but there's a lot of different producing that's going behind it now, and what people are, the image, like it's all sexual. So that's what's going to be being put out there more than what was being put out there 10 years ago. Not even 10, sorry, 20 years ago. So it's think times have changed, and like I can only imagine what these places like Sony and whatever are telling these people to do. Their managers and stuff like this is gonna work. You gotta go out there, girl. Get that ass up, shake it, girl. Yes. Do you know what I mean? Like that's
That's
Yeah.
it, you know? That's what I personally think.
So what's your opinion, bro?
My opinion on the whole thing, which I fully 100% agree with Jermaine Dupri on, is the fact that, and something he mentioned on an interview I saw after, which is the way I thought of it as well, is just imagine you're in a car, you've got your kids in the car. I've got my kids in the car, 12, 9, and the little one, but he doesn't know what's going on. But 12 and 9, and the music and the things it's talking about, this is just radio play, right? It's not something that you would, it's almost like, you know, like if you're watching something comes on the telly and you try and change the channel so your kids don't see it. It's literally the same thing as what they're talking about in the music. So in regards to how it was, not trying to bring back the past, but in regards to music and just being able to
Motown.
take something from it.
So totally different.
Even back in rap, like for me,
The Black Queen Latifah, Queen Pen, MC Light, those ones there.
And what they were talking about, it was more uplifting and more
targeted
and more positive.
Yeah.
And more trying to break women out of what these women are now talking about. Of like, you know, shake your ass and all that stuff. Like, do your work, like, stand up, do your thing. Like, that's the difference. So that's what he's talking about, saying everything's literally the same. Everyone's talking about sucking dick, doing this and doing that, and shaking your ass, twerk, twerk, twerk. And there's a right to have one track of that. There's no one saying, you know, but to have a whole album of like the same flow, and radios are playing it, which shows like what are they showing for your kids. So I'm not a fan of it, just for that fact of like they're all singing the same thing, and they are all being strippers, and they're all acting like strippers on the show. The message for myself that's got a daughter is not positive. So he's speaking from a dad.
Not at all.
Where it becomes a problem, and
Even
to
for
look
myself,
at my point of view, is that I think in this day and age, you've got a lot of, and certain people take offense, you've got a lot of like hoes and fots and side bitches that are getting the respect that women should get. So to be honest with you, instead of like, there are, because we're acting like there's not a lot of, and it's the point that you said, like there's not a lot of cold ass hard rappers that ain't doing this, that ain't doing this, you know what I mean, stripper or whatever you not. And what's happened over the years is I think that the rappers we grew up with was trying to get away from being overly sexualized. The rappers of today, or a lot of the female rappers of today, because I'm not going to say all of them, a lot of them have noticed, wait, sex sells, I'm going to capitalize on that. And it's going through with that motion, where you're getting sales, which is good. But are you going to sacrifice sales for the content of what you actually mean? I mean,
definitely.
One line that rings in my head with a lot of girls now, because it's either you've got girls that are trying to be the whole stripper kind of out there, or you've got these girls that are trying to be tugs with the man them.
What's the same?
And I mean, if you remember, Lauryn Hill said, "Stop trying to be a hard rock when you really are a gem." Do you know what I'm saying to you? So back to the whole influencing thing. Where's the ladies that's influence? We need versatility. Cool. Have the stripper rappers, but where's the rappers that are influencing those young ladies?
So you mean balance, basically.
We need a balance, yeah. Where's the ones that are coming with the Lauryn Hill message?
I've got an answer to
and that miseducation. No, I hate you too. But I mean, in a main forefront.
She's hard,
yeah, she does sometimes come with a more positive
again, like I
message.
said, I heard of Homegirl Rhapsody, but in the main forefront, those are not the ones that are, those are not the ones that are getting pushed into our mainstream for us to see. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's where the problem is. Yeah, there's all the, I mean, the fact of the matter is, Rhapsody, that's one of them, and I'm sure you're going to drop a few more gems.
I was going to do that. I feel
you're going to drop a few more gems, and the fact of the matter is, people that pay attention because you're about to learn something, and that's good. There's not enough of that though. Do you know what I'm saying? There's not enough people saying, nah, listen to that one too. Listen to that one too. And because then there's a lot more that people can hear about. But
there are, but we'll get to that. So
yeah, I generally don't know what to say.
You must know something, fam. Come on.
Girls rapping.
Probably got some friend that's a girl that raps.
Yeah, I've got my close mate that's rapping. She's a upcoming artist. She's called Taylor Lee.
Okay.
Go check her out, guys. Big things to come for her. I'm a PA, so yeah. But it's true. But I think with her message, what she's trying to portray is what's happened in her life and what she went through. So I think the message that she's going to be putting out there is very, very positive. But with some other rappers like Cardi B, I don't like her in terms of how she presents herself on Instagram. I'm so sorry, she's not really got respect, or let's say, I'm not trying to be rude or anything like that. Well, when I look at her, I feel she lacks intellectual capacity, not in no rude.
Do you know what? You're right about that.
Let him land.
Not in no way, in no shady way, but that's what she perceives, and that's what I see.
Yeah.
And
I get what you're saying about her, because she doesn't seem like the smartest person, but do you know what I love about her?
go on, she's real.
She's sexually free. She's not trying to be overly nasty. She owns her thing. Yeah, I want to suck a dick, and do you know what I'm saying? You know, that is.
Alright, cool.
That is no. I'm not. Listen, that is you. You are. You see, some girl. This is the thing.
That is who she is.
You got some girls who are what I would call real hoes. Oh, you know that girl was sucking dick and da da da. But those girls are doing the
Right, you know
so
what?
for me, because she owns her thing, because she's just.
But you see, I'm sorry, not being funny, but as being the only woman here, and understanding from a woman's perspective of what maybe a woman actually is from being a woman, yeah. There is no, like, it's not very fair sometimes. I think, like, yeah, Cardi B, I don't find her great with some of the things she says and what she does, but she is real to who she is. So people say, could all be an act? We'll never know. We ain't met her yet. But personally, I just think that as women, based on, yeah, it's not great for that to be going on, the stripper thing, but like Martin said, his friend, she more wants to talk about her personal life. Some people may be more that excitable, sexual woman. We're all different types of women, so you're going to get different types of things coming through, but it should obviously, we should have more people being pushed out that are speaking a positive message, but it's very difficult in this day and age to hear a positive message like coming through music.
My response to what everyone said, cool, you know. Personally, I don't rate Cardi B, never really have.
Yeah.
I don't rate Nicki Minaj either. Truth be told, Remy Ma, I tolerate her. I think she's alright.
Yeah.
I think she's overrated personally, but she's not whack.
Yeah.
Nicki Minaj, I think Cardi B gets too much slack. I think Nicki Minaj was the first one to come with the foolishness, like in terms of like the slackness or whatever else. You get me? Like, I didn't really see her as someone that appealed to me.
But you see, so it's funny because you said that she's coming to the slackness, right? Now this is the thing. Levi brought up a point about Lil Kim. But it's not the same. I don't know.
Yeah, but the only reason
it's not the same slackness.
I'm not thinking about Little Kim, because this is the other thing as well. Like, we're trying to make sure that we appeal to some younger people in it. Like, I'm not trying to talk about the golden era of hip hop.
But Little Kim, everybody knows.
Yeah, I know everyone knows
like certain songs. You know what I'm saying?
I know everyone knows Little Kim.
But Steph grew from Little Kim as well.
Fine, she. Wait. Yeah, we know that, but that's not who we're talking about, fam.
Of course, yeah.
And the reason I don't want to talk about these older people, fam, they've had their time, they've had their millions. I want to focus on what's current
more
now.
relatable.
Yeah, but Remy, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm only saying because Remy's current. She's bringing out tunes now. You get me? Little Kim, I don't know when the last time she brought a tune out. You get me? Maybe she hasn't. See, I didn't even know. But
no, I just made that up. Sorry, bro.
Fake news. So,
But to be fair,
wait. Let me land because we're gonna wrap up in a sec.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, when you talk about people like Cardi B, the reason I don't rate her as well, she got ghostwriter and them thing there as well.
100%.
I don't rate that. From your rapping, you got someone writing your rhyme. Sorry,
bit mad, innit?
it's done.
Drake
You get me?
Yeah, it's a
you
bit
know, I'm
mad.
seeing man behind the camera saying Offset. I don't know what that means. What is that man?
He's writing.
Maybe he's supporting his baby
No,
mums.
he's writing the lyrics. Yeah.
Oh, he's writing the lyrics, whatever. But now, what I'm saying to you is this: with Cardi B, like I said, she don't write her rhymes. I don't really rate her. She's got more of a personality than she's got skills. And on top of that, she came up off of
Love
a
and
TV
hip-hop.
show.
Love and hip-hop.
She never came up going in ciphers, spitting and whatever. Remy Ma did.
yeah.
That's
tough.
why she bodied Nicki Minaj, because she's a spitter.
Yeah, well, that's not.
Also, wait, no, when you go on music, fam, you go in, fam. You're gonna let me land today, blood.
Go on.
What I'm saying is this year, like Jermaine Dupri, I agree with him, innit? Because the stripper things being pushed, and the reason I don't take back my talk is because there was a time that enough people we was complaining about rap always being about drugs, music, and hoes,
Trust.
and you was right to complain.
Of
So
course.
Jermaine Dupri should have a right to complain
Yeah.
with all the stripper thing. And guess what? I know people like dropping this kind of talk when I drop gems, innit? So what's the solution, Wayne, and whatever? There's some sick rappers out right now. You said Rhapsody, yeah? But I'm gonna drop one that none of you probably even heard of. So her name's called Shay Neuer, yeah? Sick. She raps with Benny the Butcher, 38 Special. Again, I'm saying names you might not be familiar with. Conway, Griselda Records and whatever. Like, she's got 2 mixtapes out right now. Like, Shay Neuer, CHENOIR. She's sick. Okay. Yeah. And I was following her like maybe a month or so ago when she only had like maybe 3,000 followers. Now it's 10K. So you kind of see I saw things from the beginning. Okay. There's another US rapper called Lady London. It's weird that the name's called Lady London. She's an American rapper still. I seen some freestyles on what's it called on her Insta. She's kind of sick. Seen her on a few radio stations.
I was gonna
wait. But now to bring it back to the UK, there's some sick ones here as well.
Exactly.
I was gonna say Lioness myself, man.
Sorry, my dog.
This guy. You teeth the mic too much. There's Lioness.
I throw out Nole as well because even now Nole's come out. Nole come out something every day.
Yeah, Nole
come out something every day. And you see
Nole, Shiesty, even though she's been a bit quiet, but she's good as well. Little Sims. Like, there's all these rappers here.
Sorry, can I just say one thing again as a woman? Sorry. Obviously, I know, like you're saying, the stripper thing, and we, you know, if we wanted to get away from drugs and crime and, you know, a certain way of living, but sometimes I feel like as much as sometimes we can accept the guys from the hood that are doing what they got to do to make their money, and that's how they're getting their money. I think you kind of have to, I understand where women are coming from in the respect that that's what they're doing to get money and that's how they're getting by.
No one said not to. Wait, no one said not to accept them though. That's what I'm saying. And you said it first. You said it's a balance, isn't it? No one said they can't be strippers and they can't rap. No one said you can't.
No, of course, I know you're not saying that.
No one said we're boycotting stripper rap or anything like that. But what we're saying,
promoting it.
I don't like the fact that that's all that it's become.
And I get what Jermaine's saying because to come from hip hop, we had, like I said, MC Light, The Brat, Lisa Left Eye,
Lauryn Hill.
So to come from that diversity, to come from that diversity. To only be around the one woman's representation is...
Let me say it to you in a different way, fam. A stripper that has a ghostwriter is a representative of female hip-hop right now. I don't know, like, fam.
Yeah.
And there's colder rappers out... There's colder rappers than her out right now, and they're going hard, fam.
When you say...
Of course, but it's like some...
The men one, because Drake.
Of course.
Yeah, and I was gonna say that. Unfortunately,
I tell it free.
It's the entertainment industry.
Right, I'm glad you said Drake, because I wasn't even thinking of man. I don't like Drake either.
I don't like him as well.
I don't like him as well. I've never liked Drake. I've never rated him. He gets ghostwriters as well. Wait.
I've never liked
a couple man, like they got on the bandwagon and they support him, but it's business. You get me? Yeah. Certain people saying that Drake's their favourite rapper. No, it's not. Styles P is your favourite rapper, bro.
I like Drake.
So
you
get me?
I like
Redman. Redman's my favourite rapper.
Cool.
I love Styles P, but he makes you feel like you ever want to murder something or life is too crazy. Listen, I love Styles though. He's a cool person.
Anyway. With that one, we're going to wrap it up. I think we kind of covered that one well still. But look up all them rappers that I mentioned.
Yes.
Definitely.
And make sure when you look them up, you remember who showed you about who showed you first.
And when it comes to
it was
comments,
me, innit?
When it comes to comments, like, throw back it out. I want to know what you lot think as well. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, Lady Lights has got some projects out now as well. I can't remember what it's called, but I know there was a Muhammad Ali tune that she had with Lioness. So go check that out. Remember, it's me that's mentioning this, you know. So don't think that man ain't showing you. Like,
he wants that, like the little 10%, you know, mention this.
No, bad man don't ask for discounts. Bad man pays a full price. I don't do mates rates.
Yeah, support the team.
No, for real, support that and go and have a look at it.
Bye, guys. From Bear Talks, Levi Pink,
Anthony,
Omar,
Martin,
Wayne Riley.
You just had to, innit?
this team.